does it matter if your skills are at the bottom of the document?
Well, the applicant tracking system is going to pick it up no matter what.
Okay.
But what is it doing?
Uh-huh.
The employer doesn't know where you gained experience in computer office programs, team player. Same thing with the other two resumes. Whatever's in the skills section needs to be embedded in the bullets, in your experiences, in your project.
This is UMBC Careers Unleashed, where we unleash stories, insights, and expertise to support you on your career journey. Let's dive in.
What's up, Retrievers? We are back with another episode of your favorite podcast, UMBC Careers Unleashed. And do we have a treat for you today? That's right, we are reviewing resumes from the career center and career expert lens, but also from the lens of employers. So I want you to stay tuned because over the next 30-ish minutes, we are going to dissect 3 different resumes with my esteemed colleagues, Michelle, Adam, and Melissa. I'm going to let them introduce themselves, tell you a little bit about ourselves. Yes. And then we're going to get right into it. We're dissecting 3 resumes for y'all today.
Hi, everyone. I'm Michelle Breen. I'm one of the assistant directors on the internships and employment team. So I see a lot of resumes. And I'm the liaison to...
Yes, InfoSystems.
Well, we see everything.
What about you, Adam?
Adam Morris, assistant director on the internships and employment team. Michelle and I started the same day 2 years ago. And I'm the liaison for the College of Natural Mathematical Sciences.
Listen, InfoSystems, natural and mathematical sciences.
All covered. Yeah.
And then we saved the best for last.
Melissa. Hi, everybody. I am a poli-sci and public health student. I am also a career peer here at the center. So resumes, I see them on a daily basis. Yeah, I'm going to offer my input today.
Right. Well, we're not even going to belabor the moment because the reason why everyone is here is because they want to hear about these resumes. All right, moving on.
Vinny.
Did I jump the gun? I really wanted to say the name Vinny Valentine. So initial, initial interpretation, experiences, initial reaction to this resume. It does have somewhat of a summary profile section up top. Seems like every resume gets a little bit more up top in the header, then jumps right into experience. What are some of your thoughts on the layout?
Do we like what?
It says organized, dedicated professionals seeking new opportunities. So they have a summary, objective, or whatever.
There's something there.
There's something. A little bit.
I have strong opinions about summaries, objectives, and personal.
How do you feel about them?
And this maybe, I don't think it's not me. It's not personal to me. I believe that objectives are outdated. And I think that is supported by recruiters and career experts abroad because objectives are aspirational. It's like, we know what your aspiration is. You're applying for the job. Like you want to get the job. So if you're going to offer me something in summary or to surmise your resume, it should be more declarative. Okay. So it starts out that way, right? Organized, dedicated, professional. But then seeking new opportunities and experiences.
Aren't we all?
Exactly. You know, I'm a Capricorn. I like to go for long walks on the beach.
Are you really?
No. You know that.
Okay.
As a Capricorn, I got really excited there for a second, so
I was talking about you.
I
was talking about you.
Well,
I'm a Capricorn. I like to travel. So to me, this is very generic. And if we go back to what I said before, if I'm reading this as like a comprehensive document, I'm now looking for this to be proven somewhere. And I'm not saying that it's not, but what are they? We don't even know. What are they applying for?
What do you think? What do you think?
New opportunity.
A new opportunity and experience.
And experience.
Yes. And we're making light of it. Of course, when we review resumes, we don't give this, we're being funny, right? We're not we're not being punitive or penalizing folks, but we're trying to be jovial and funny in a way that we express that. So do you
think that they should just kind of restate what they have done up there in their objective or
summary?
Yeah.
If there is something that you want me to understand right away, and maybe it potentially is hidden or you're trying to influence me towards something that maybe it's not as clear to see, that's when I think that the summary is important, because some resumes don't even have them, right? Like if I'm transitioning careers,
I like those.
that
I
is
like
really a thing. I met with a student actually today who is a dance major, but who is going to make a pivot and wants to go to law school and is trying to get like a legal internship. And so now what we are needing to do is kind of like pluck out these things about, their art history experience and their advocacy for individuals with disabilities, because they have all of that, but they're saying that they are a professional with these skill sets that is interested in applying them into a legal internship. Right now we're saying, because I've done all of these things, I've worked in disability support services, or I've become, I'm the, president of a, organization for students with disabilities. Like, how does that, okay, like I'm looking for a correlation, but that summary right off the beginning is like, I have these skills, I have a different major, but I can leverage these skills for this purpose. So that's when I really think that the summary and the profile is like,
I agree.
Yeah.
you know what they say, like important.
Yeah. I think my second day here, we were doing the CNMS Career Connection Social, and I met with an employer, and he said, because he did a lot of recruiting volunteers, new hires, and he would say, when he picks up a resume, I want to know why this person applied. What are they here for? Did they just send this resume out to 100 different places? If it doesn't jump off the page who they are, why they're even applying for this position, sometimes a summary or profile section can help. You get to explain yourself. What skills did you develop in your previous roles and how you want to leverage them, like you're mentioning. But yeah, if you give your resume to someone off the street, someone in the career center, and if it doesn't jump off the page who you are, maybe a summary section can help.
And to go back to what we've said that over and over again, like, to be honest, right, okay, let's assume, right, we're looking down here at the education, that Vinny is still here at UMBC. All of the experience that's listed is very much customer service. And so I'm wondering, are they applying just for like a stop loss job or something? Like, is it that they're just trying to get another customer service job, or are they in pursuit of an internship? Because if they're in pursuit of an internship or a post-graduation job, and they don't want to go into the customer service field, like, I don't have any support that you have skills there.
Right.
I mean, one thing that we could tell them to do is create a project section. That would be helpful, because as of right now, it's just nothing to go off of.
And where would we put it? Because a lot of students will ask that question. They would say, this is jam packed with one page.
Yes.
Where do we put a project section? How do we fit it in?
Well, they've gone way back.
Yep. Yeah.
They
2020.
they took us back. And so one of the things is that they have high school listed, but they have several academic experiences post high school. So for me, after you are a first year college student, and maybe even a first semester college student, high school has just got to go. It's like gone, because it's no longer, you have now been able to surpass that in like proving who you are.
Yeah.
So even if the GPA was super high in high school, some people feel so tethered to it because they had their 4.25 weighted GPA, But I'm like, if you had a 4.25 in high school and you have a 3.75 now,
That's beautiful.
come on.
Yes.
You have not changed or ceased to be that same person.
I feel like we should just talk back again about the R&R.
Right.
Recent.
Who's reading it?
and relevant.
Who is reading your
Yes.
resume, and why do they care? They don't care.
That is
Chesapeake
very true
High
though. Like
School.
if it's from 5 years back and stuff, I always say take off the two that are like just super old.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the amount that you took off, replace the projects with that. So if you took off 3, then add 3 projects that you have done, which it balances it out.
Got you. So we're getting rid of the education, and we're getting rid of the 2020 job potentially.
Okay.
Not the whole education.
Not the whole
Well,
education, but
education, just
the high school. Excuse me,
Which
right?
it's a good point. So we see welding trainee under education,
Yeah.
and they have the welding role under experience. Is that taken away from their psych degree or whatever job they're pursuing? Do we even need the welding program on this resume?
But they explain it in the objective.
Yeah.
Why would,
And then
why would they
honestly,
weld?
it is a U.S. Jobs Corps program.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that speaks a lot to a lot of people. So
So that's true. I think there's so many things jam packed in what we just said
yes,
that I'm gonna break it down. We got to slow this one down because this is a lot to chew
Yeah.
on. Couple of things. One, where you question whether or not is listing and naming the fact that you went to a welding program important or relevant if you're applying for a psychology based internship or research experience. And that speaks to the fact that a resume is not a comprehensive document.
Right.
yes.
Right? Like it is to highlight and showcase why you are qualified or most qualified for something in particular.
Mm-hmm.
So you may want to show a comprehensive picture of who you are. But if it's going to cause you to compromise your format, I would prioritize, right?
Mhm.
Like, so potentially it could go.
Yep.
But at the least in this particular version, it has not only does it have the name of the program and while they were there, it also has 2 bullet points,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
It's a lot
The
of
bullet
space.
points can definitely go.
Yeah.
And from my perspective.
Yeah.
Because it's not giving you any keywords if
Mhm.
you're
Nope.
applying for a psychology based internship or research experience.
And then one thing that just jumped out to me now is that they don't have their GPA down.
Yeah.
They
There's-
don't have it down.
Yes,
There's
GPA.
no
But do you need
GPA.
it?
Now, depends, y'all. What do y'all think? I feel like isn't it the rule where just like if it's like what above
We say
2.5, right? Then just put it on there because people. I mean, they might ask, but if you don't have a GPA, like showcase somewhere else where you are strong.
I definitely like to add the GPA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Another thing format that jumps out to me is that they have from until dates on their education.
Don't need them.
Don't need them, and it's just graduation dates. Because what if you took the scenic route?
Yeah.
That's
and
nobody's business.
The dates are all over the place. With the UMBC, January 28, 2024 to present, we don't need the specific dates. We don't need when we started. So education dates are going to be different than experience dates where we want month, year to month, year. Education, just month, year that we expect to graduate
Yeah.
or that we did graduate.
Yeah.
So Anne Arundel Community College, let's get rid of March 2022, just leave December 2023.
Yeah.
And then
Same for-
Vinny says received associate in psychology. We don't need to say received because December 2023 implies we graduated from there.
Yeah.
So we can just say associate in arts in psychology.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a good point with the education dates because they're handled a little bit differently than experience.
You know what's something else we didn't touch on? I think that there's also room if we're talking about space saving, right? To also remove associate's degrees if we need the space. And I say that because your associate's credits get assumed by your bachelor's degree, right? Most master's degrees are standalone. Some, if you're in accelerated programs, some of your undergrad credits go towards your graduate program, but they're still usually graduate courses. But in totality, all of your associate's degree credits are absorbed by your bachelor's degree. So technically, right, if it's taking up space, you could even get rid of your associate's degree.
If you're
What do you
enrolled in
think?
bachelor program here at UMBC, sorry, if you want to go for it. I
No,
jumped
No,
in.
tell me if you don't agree.
no,
If you
new
don't agree, I
information.
want
No,
I
new
want
I'm just
information.
absorbing the new information.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
me either.
Because I've seen
Yeah.
people who have different like associate's degrees than their bachelor's, and so then I would say like leave it. But I didn't know that I was going to say since it's the same, but I didn't know that like that was the norm.
Look, and here now you get into something because we're ready to dig in there. Let's say, for example, you have an associate's degree in info systems, and then you come to UMBC and you major in psychology.
Right.
I would leave that associate's degree.
Okay.
Because now it is showcasing a skill set that we don't even know that you have. And let's say that post-graduation, now we have that info systems associates and bachelor's degree in psychology, and you want to go into UI UX design. Now we're speaking to the recruiter and they're saying they do have technical skills.
Okay.
So now it's like the relevance,
Yes.
but the double over psychology to me,
Right.
if we need to, for space saving, because you asked about that, I will get rid of
So with the first two experiences here, the 7-Eleven Customer Association, Dash In Customer Association, looking at the bullets, they look basically the exact same bullets. What kind of skills are they highlighting? How do we want to express our skills and qualities that we picked up in those roles? What would you do differently? What do you like? What do you dislike?
You know, our cousin Vinny. What do we have to say? I'm gonna grab the career guide while y'all digest
Okay.
it.
Well, I struggle making my bullet short enough, and so these are way too short for my liking, because it also doesn't tell me any of the results of anything that
Yes.
he or they did. So I think, even training other employees, I like where it is because it's first, and I think that's important for customer service. But I would add in order to. I would add, like, why did you train other employees? How did what you did fit into the role? What skills did you employ, and what were the results of you training other employees? Even if it was just to gain the skill. But anytime I have a student who struggles making the bullet more impactful, I'll say, like, in order to do what. And even if you just add that, even if you don't keep it in there as, like, in order to, it helps you kind of think about why you were doing the thing and what skill you were gaining through
I
it.
mean, and to even make it even like a better one, right? Like, talk about like the amount of employees
Right.
that you have helped. I feel
Numbers.
like yes, numbers are super important because it, like, at least in like every job, put like a number down. Rather, if it's like 3 or like 10, put some type of number so the recruiter can see, okay, like, you've touched these amount of people because you did X, Y, and Z.
And
And
you know
then-
what? There's formatting things too, right? Because you, Adam, were talking about redundancy, like that these are pretty much the exact same bullet points.
Yes.
There is a world in which I could see 7-Eleven customer associate, right? Because says a customer association, customer associate, and then the from and to dates, and then dash in customer associate, and then the from and to dates, right? Just right next to each other. And you did the same thing. I can imagine you doing the same thing at 7-Eleven and dash in, right? So where you don't do it 7-Eleven 4 bullet points and then dash in 4 bullet points. You can just put 7-Eleven from and to dates and then your 4 bullet points, right? And this also speaks to like tense because it says ing
Yeah, both of these positions are past, so let's change the tense.
to past tense.
Past tense.
And even if it's present, it shouldn't be with present progressive tense, which is ing. It should just be present tense.
Because we have that skill, we're utilizing it. We can go with past tense. And even stocking and cleaning, if we look at the last bullet on each one of them, is that a transferable skill? Is that something we want to highlight? If we're going after a psychology position, what is a transferable skill that we actually utilize that employer would then want to be interested in? So in the career guide, there's a lot of pages and resources on how to construct a bullet. What do we want to focus on? Those dependable skills. Maybe it is problem solving. Maybe we're working with a lot of customers. There's problems we have to solve whatever is we're facing that day. So let's switch stocking and cleaning to something more relevant to the employer. And then the career guide will do a really good job with walking you through what we were doing, why, how, with whom, what did we produce, what was the outcome. So let's maybe update these bullets with something more relevant for the job.
So the suggestion around bullet points is in the prepare your documents section.
Yes.
This is the 2025-2026 career guide. So it starts actually on like bullet points on page 20 in this one, but it's always in the prepare your documents section. But just for clarification, do you, maybe we should ask the organization person, right? The writer, the historian, if you will. Do you have a guideline for a bullet point structure, like this plus this plus this?
I do, but I don't know it off the top of my head.
Let's rewrite the first bullet point. So then say it again, trained,
Trained other employees
or 20, over 20.
Yes, trained.
20
Okay.
plus
20
employees.
plus employees on point of sale system in order to streamline. Oh yeah, streamline customer service experience.
That's it, period.
There you go.
Period.
Look at us go, y'all.
That's That's
That was
Right
a
on the
lot.
spot,
That
on the
was-
fly.
yeah.
On the
Yeah.
fly, but that's
Yeah.
why we're the
Same.
professionals.
That's it.
Yes.
Shout out to the career guide,
Hello.
okay, and the career guide review board.
We'd be
and
lost
team.
without it.
Okay, so we talked a lot. In summation, what do we think about our friend Vinny?
Vinny.
I would say probably lead with psych UMBC at the education section because experience is the first thing our eyes go to, and it's all customer service based.
Uh-huh.
Depending on what job they're going after, if it is psychology related, I would move education after the header, move experience down a little bit, and have it flow a little bit nicer where it's psychology captures the employer's attention, and then hopefully everything behind that supports the psych degree. That's my opinion.
Okay. And do we like their education being at the bottom and then skills and certification? The other two, they led with that. What is the rule on that? Like, does it matter if your skills are at the bottom of the document?
The applicant tracking system is going to pick it up no matter what.
Okay.
But what is it doing?
Uh-huh.
The employer doesn't know where you gained experience in computer office programs, team player. Same thing with the other two resumes. Whatever's in the skills section needs to be embedded in the bullets in your experiences, in your projects. So, they really leaned heavily into the computer service, but if they want to go into problem solving, adaptability, Excel, make sure those skills are embedded in the bullets, and a lot of them are not.
So where did you get them?
Yeah, where did you get them exactly?
Okay,
Exactly.
so that's where the projects come.
Yeah,
Yes.
a little bit of modification. I think Vinny's got a fighting chance.
Okay, okay. And you know what? Not only projects, but you could just call it because, right, maybe what if you're a freelancer? It might be that you, let's say Vinny's now, having these hidden talents. It could be, research experience.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily, or research experience and projects. Because I know sometimes students feel, and I don't know if this is the right word, but insecure to call it experience if they did it in school. But it really is, So anyway. So who do we have next?
We have Tukey the Terminator.
Tukey the Terminator?
Oh, yes.
Okay, Tukey.
Oh, one page.
One
One
pager.
page.
One page.
Already to a
One
great
pager.
start.
Good job,
Oh my
Tukey.
goodness.
Okay.
Tukey, what do we see here? I already see that this is like arts major,
Mm-hmm.
which I love already. And look, they even have like a website too
I love that.
for their
Yes.
portfolio.
Oh, we could just
Hello?
click that right there.
Click already.
This enrolled in, though. That doesn't need to be there.
Okay.
I'm going to just cross that out for myself. So they're in a master's degree program and they got a BFA from UMBC in 2024. I think that's we can settle that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you spell out BFA or leave it at?
I don't know.
It's a
What do you think?
So, talking to employers, the applicant tracking systems can pick up whether it's BS, BA, BFA, or if we spell it out fully, it should be able to pick it up. So we can shorten it or spell it out fully if we want. It should work.
And for me, and that's great to pull out the applicant tracking thing. For me, what my thing is how much does it take up on the line? Because I like to have a clear distinction between the text that's on the right hand side of the page and then the dates that are on the left. So if I put Bachelor of Fine Arts in Visual Arts Concentration Animation, GPA 3.5, it might run over into the text onto the left hand side. So that's a formatting thing.
Yeah.
But while we're talking about formatting, I will say that I do like how they have a different highlight on every line. So they have the name of the school that they go to in their graduation year in bold.
Yeah.
Then they have the major, right, in non-bold but italics. So it's keeping me interested. And then they want to highlight something like their awards or their honors. So then they give me another bold, but then it's in a basic color. It's not like yellow or purple or anything. So now it's keeping my eye like, oh, okay, this is what it is. This is what it is. So it doesn't get boring for me, at least like at a glance. So
There's no space before awards. You can see it's going from UMBC right into awards, the next line down, which I don't think it's much of an issue. But if someone's being nitpicky, they want to notice attention to detail. This is kind of your first writing sample you're submitting to the employer. So you could space it out to make it even with the rest of your resume.
What about their skills? Do we like where the skills?
I love the skills. I love the skills section. The only thing I would, I guess, think about is the interpersonal piece being there because everything that they have is like technical skills
Okay.
for their for their role.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it belongs there or they even need it, if they can put it down in the employment bullets. But I like when the skills are broken up like that. I think that especially in this field, because I mean,
Tuki is an
hiring
animator.
person is looking
Yes.
at those skills.
I was going to ask you what you
Yeah.
like about the skills. So
Yeah.
with the subcategories, that's what the
Yeah.
separating software, hardware, interpersonal to visual arts. Okay.
I like where it is and how it's broken down.
Okay.
Why do you like where it is?
Because I feel like their employment is not as relevant to what they're looking for. It's not animator, characters design, storyboard artists, but their skills are. So it's almost like what you said earlier about having your education up top too. The skills are the most relevant for what they're looking for. So having that up top and having it broken down so the person who's looking at it doesn't even need to like parse through the skills. They can tell, okay, here are the software, here are the visual arts, here are the hardware. Like I think that is I like when
It's what the KISS method. What do they call it? Keep it simple, Simon? Or
stupid, I believe, but
Oh.
that's mean. So.
Go
Yeah.
Simon.
Yeah.
That's mean.
Exactly. Or keep it simple, silly. You know what? You mentioned something up here, this little right after their name. They've got this like brand statement, which I don't necessarily, I mean, some folks put that, but do we like that? Do we like the little brand statement right after animator, character designer, storyboard artist?
I like it. I think it's like a personal objective or
Personal opinion?
no objective. What are we?
Oh, like a summary or a profile.
Professional summary.
Yeah. Or a profile. What do
really
you think?
short.
Do you have a difference of opinion?
I have a few thoughts.
Okay.
Spicy.
Is there room for a summary section so we can
Yes.
elaborate, talk about our skills, what we're pursuing, our motivations, our interests as it relates to the job we're applying for? These are job titles. I don't know if this person yet, when I start here, has this person obtained these job titles? Are they seeking them out? Are there skills embedded into these jobs that they wanted to showcase? I don't know. So to me, it's there. But I don't know. I have a lot of questions when I see that. So similar with skills, where they're listing them here, but what do I do with that? Did you gain these skills? How many months or years of experience do you have? And that's where potentially I would look at the art project section, since that's coming after that. Are these skills embedded in these art projects? Do they utilize these certain Photoshop, Illustrator, DSLR hardware tools and skills in these art projects or your employment? So I have some questions that I'm hoping to get more out of when I read more of this resume.
Oh, wow. You are, listen, really strategic in there. So it's like, okay, well, Photoshop. Well, how well versed are you in Photoshop? And you're trying to learn that. And I love that.
Yeah, I just think that everything is just like so important, because you want to make sure that the recruiter is not confused, right? And then when they start asking a lot of questions, it's kind of already like, well, I'm kind of like turned off now. You know what I mean? So like you want to just like make sure, just like even me, like the words as of right now is just like, why is it there? You know what I mean? I don't want to ask that question.
Okay.
Yeah.
And here's what I will say, just as a former recruiter, especially if, let's say, for example, the structure of the company is that maybe the company is like homogenous in that it's about like IT solutions and software. The recruiter is used to looking at IT resumes. Or if the company is larger, sometimes they'll have recruiters that have a responsibility to different departments. So you kind of get familiar with the skills, the jargon, if that was the word, of like that kind of industry. So for me, if I was looking at this, I'm thinking of animator, character designer, storyboard artist, almost, if it were longer, like this real summary that you were talking about, as like the thesis. And now what I want is for it to be proven
Yes.
through the document.
Yes.
So you're telling me that you are an animator, a character designer, and a storyboard artist.
And
All
where-
right.
and then, like,
Now
where
let's
is that?
see.
Exactly.
Is the proof in the pudding?
There it is.
They're saying, and then, okay, are these the skills that go along with that? Okay. Do these projects demonstrate that you have, you know what I'm saying? So I do like how, even though you could have or not have that brand statement, I do like how it's like, okay, it's not like we go from animator to working at American Eagle.
So basically, like an opener, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it. I think because you have to prove it anyway.
Yeah.
But am I intrigued? as the recruiter, am I intrigued? And I am, because I'm like, okay, Autodesk, okay, Premiere Pro, okay. And for the purposes of the software, the ATS software we're talking about, I think that this is also a strategic move as well, because it allows you to capture keywords as well,
Yes.
in a way.
It's also trying to identify how many months and years of experience you have. So as long as they're taking what's in skills and embedding them in the bullets, where they do have dates, April 2025 for the greatest getaway, April 2024 with tap dancing caterpillar. If they're embedding those skills into those bullets, then the applicant tracking system can say you have 1 month of experience using this, or 2 months, and it'll just keep adding it. So same with art projects and employment, which I was going to mention with the title of the section here, art projects. I think on Sally's it was just projects. What's
It's specific.
yeah? What kind of section names should that have? Should it be projects, art projects, project experience?
Or animation
And
projects, right?
animation,
These
yeah.
are all. This is photography. I think that they've given it some level of explanation inside of the thing. So this is animation of 1 minute and 30-second animation, and I think that the way that they formatted
I
this
loved it.
is
I like that.
also like intrinsic to their field.
Yes.
Like that this is the actual technical way that you would lay this out. I also like how strategically, right, they still work at Chipotle, right? They worked at Chipotle for the past 2 years, at least to this recording date almost. But they strategically put their art projects, their animation work first,
Yes.
even though the most recent thing. And so we talked about that reverse chronological piece. Now, this is where it always gets weird when I try to explain it. But the reverse chronological methodology only exists within each subheading, like each section. So it doesn't have to be like the most recent thing and then you work your way back through the whole document. But you are working yourself in reverse chronology, or not, I don't even know the word, but you're working in reverse inside of each section.
Yes.
So this Chipotle, because it's in another section, is starting over again. Does that make sense? So they strategically put their art projects first because they wanted the people or the viewer to see it first. If that makes any
It's
sense.
more relevant.
More relevant. Exactly. Not because it's more recent. but
Right.
Because it's more relevant.
More
Relevant.
relevant.
Hello.
Relevant trumps recent.
Yes. Yes.
R&R, babe. R&R.
R&R.
And R.
So, guys, what do we think about their employment, even though, I mean, outside of their art projects? Like, how do we feel about that?
Good question.
Mhm.
I would say, so if we're looking at those interpersonal skills, what do we call them now? Durable skills, not soft skills. I think they did a good job of, them did a good job of taking that time management, teamwork, and adaptable that they have up in the skills section and showcasing that in the bullets. I do think that, they're going to need probably customer service in a role as storyboard artist. If you're working for a client, right, you're going to need to have that. What I don't see that I would like to see in those employment are like communication skills. They don't have that like written out. So I think that that's one thing that I see is missing, because especially in these roles these dream roles that they're applying for and they're going to need that communication piece, and it is embedded within what they did at Chipotle and Dollar Tree. I just don't think they call it out as well as they could, as explicitly.
NACE had an article, I think it was 2024, where they talked about the transferable skills or the durable skills that employers seek out most. Problem solving was number one. Or teamwork or collaboration, number two. Number three was communication. So when Tuki's listing her interpersonal skills, time management, teamwork, and adaptable, they're good ones. Which ones do we choose? Which ones do we focus on? Do we include additional ones? But knowing that employers are seeking out problem solving, teamwork, and communication, maybe we think about leaning into that. But it does depend on the specific job description.
Yeah.
But if we see skills listed under the skills section, interpersonal, then come down to employment and projects, hopefully we see that repeated, like you're mentioning, teamwork, problem solving, who knows, whatever they're utilizing there.
I like this resume, and I really wish that I could watch the tap dancing caterpillar.
Wow.
Make it. resume.
Sally
And
Sue.
It's resume.
It's a resume.
It's a resume.
I know. I feel like I gotta
Okay, so
get Sally in here.
yeah, let's everyone take Sally out. And first, what are some of our first kind of thoughts when we look at Sally? Should I start because I have a really quick first thought. First thing is I had to take out 3 pages. I feel
Yes.
like that was a little much, right?
Cumbersome.
And I'm pretending I'm a recruiter in this situation. I don't want to scroll or flip to 3 pages.
That's a lot.
It's a lot. And one of the things that I'm noticing too, just by looking at it, is that it has a lot of similar experiences. So she's got a lot of customer service experience, which is great. However, you want that common theme, but maybe not as much of it on here. So that's one of the first things I would notice about this resume as a whole, with a little bit of format and then a little bit of content as well. Anything else that jumps out to you all when we're looking at Sally's?
Yeah. And that you said, I'm seeing it now, right? Ulta Beauty, luxury beauty store, Michael Kors outlet, American Eagle Outfitters, right? That we have like 2 beauty brands, and then we have like 2 clothing stores. But I would imagine they're probably similar.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then,
and
we
skill
got
sets.
cashier, key holder,
Yeah, I'm wondering what
sales.
kind of position she's applying for. It's organized. I like that you can skim through it. Every section is the same. It's laid out similarly, so it's easy to see and easy to read. But I don't know where this person's skills lie. What kind of positions she's applying for.
And her education is on the very last page.
Yep.
The very last page. And so now we're like, okay, the very last page, it says that she's receiving a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology with a minor of political science. So, but the very first job says that she's working at the Montgomery County Circuit Court. So is there a connection between those 2 things? Because between the Circuit Court and her political science minor, psychology major, we've got all this retail.
And maybe we can even talk about like her projects too, and move that up some to look at that more than the other experiences that she has.
Yeah.
So would you put education first?
Oh, of course.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
definitely. I always recommend for like current students and even recent graduates that they lead with their education. And the reason being is because in my mind, right, I always tell folks that you want on the first 3 quarters, even if your resume is longer than 1 page, in the first 3 quarters of the first page, like that's right where your eye goes, the reader's eye goes, that I want the most impactful information that highlights why you are qualified for what you're applying for. And for most students, their education is like the leading credential. It's like, I have a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. Like that's the cornerstone piece right there. So getting that education on the first page. I also noticed too that in her education section, it is not in reverse chronological order. So she had an associate's degree, but she listed that first.
Right.
And a lot of folks get tripped up on that. You want to do the most recent thing and then work your way back. So that just popped out to me too.
And with the top area here on the first page, what about the 2 columns here? Leading with experience, but then also skills that are kind of just off to the side.
Let me just say that this template right here, it just doesn't do it for me. I'm not, we love all the folks. Sally, I mean, me and Sally, me and Sally's mom grew up together. Maybe not me and Sally.
Right.
Maybe not Sally and I, but me and Sally's mom grew up together. Like,
I mean,
I really
Stephanie,
love Sally.
Could you explain why people should not use a template?
Well, it's not that they shouldn't use a template. I mean, I haven't seen everyone. I don't typically like them, but this one in particular, I don't like because it doesn't make the best use of the space. And there's a lot of white space. And on that second page, if you look at it, right, that the key information, like the bullet points for the resume, that they're all on the left-hand side of the page, but the whole right is empty. And you see these bullet points, they're kind of like running into 2 lines. If the whole white space on this page was being used, maybe that the bullet points wouldn't, take up so much vertical space. And then maybe she wouldn't have a 3-page resume.
That's true.
So it's like the format of it just is not the most efficient use of the space,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion.
I also don't like templates because they're hard to change and hard to edit.
Yes.
And we want to change and edit.
Yes.
Just making sure that it looks aesthetically pleasing. That's one thing too. Making
Aesthetically
sure that your
pleasing.
eyes don't go everywhere.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Is this doesn't do the aesthetics
It-
for
it's-
you?
this doesn't.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, this looks like she cut and pasted, and again, I talk a certain way, so I don't want anybody to be like, "Oh my goodness, she's ripping my resume to
Be
pieces."
nice, Sally.
Me and Sally's mom went to school
Yeah, I know
together.
you
We
did.
grew
I
up
know. I
together.
know.
But the amount of bullet points too, like if it is not one, if it's redundant, right? If you're a cashier, all I need to know if I were the recruiter is what is the skill that you possess. And I kind of know what cashiers do. So is there anything unique that you, Sally, did as a cashier? Is there anything unique that you had access to or accomplished as a lead cashier? Did you lead in sales? Did you do this? Did you do that? But to give me the same, cash handling, lead cashier, processing, cash and credit on 4 different things, I don't need that.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a long time ago, if you're just trying to show me the length of your job history, I may not even need any bullet points if it was so many years ago.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, it almost takes up half the page of the American
Yeah.
Eagle Outfitters position from about 10 years ago.
Mhm.
It takes up, 40% of the page where, like you said, it doesn't even need any bullets at all, unless, you want to showcase some kind of transferable skill, problem solving, communication, something where you made an impact, you added value to that role.
Mhm.
But should it take up, 40 to 50% of the page? Probably not.
Probably
Is there a
not.
magic number for bullets?
Mm-hmm.
Like, should you have a certain
what
number
aim should
Yeah.
students
for each
using, yeah.
experience? Does it vary?
like, yeah.
I sighed.
Sorry.
I'm not going to answer first.
I
had thoughts.
Quality over
I-
quantity myself.
I
Okay.
think if
Uh-huh.
it's like the most recent job, obviously
Mhm.
expand on that. And if it's like relevant to that job, then okay. But if it's
Mhm.
something that's like over like 10 years, maybe we should reconsider if you should even put it on your resume in the first place. But if you feel like you would like to, then maybe 1 is fine or 2.
Mhm.
But I would say don't focus too heavily on things that are just insanely old.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay.
You know what? You hit the R&Rs, recent and relevant. So what say us in summation about 3-page Sally?
She's got a good start.
Great
She's got a
start.
great start. It's
Amazing.
really good. I think she could trim a lot, right?
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I'd give her a job probably.
You give her a job.
Yeah, I don't know
Very
what
nice.
kind of a
Give her
job,
one
but I'm
too.
gonna
Just
give
right
her
off the
one.
bat, no
Yeah,
interview.
yep, nothing.
There you go.
All right, are we moving on to our next one?
Sure.
Okay,
But I will say I'm impressed with Sally.
I'm impressed. She seems great.
Yes.
Sally.
Yeah,
Love Sally
lots of
Howell.
awards, but yeah, she changed the format.
And
just
you
a
know what
little.
I would do if I was Sally?
Uh-huh.
If I didn't
Call
have
her
much
mom.
time? I would.
You call her mom.
I would tell, but you know what I would do if I was Sally, and because this is not an English class, we're not an English composition. I would copy all of this,
Yep.
and I would paste this into Chat GPT or some other version of AI, and I would say, help me to condense
Mhm.
my
Resume.
resume for the purposes of applying for psychological research or criminal justice research or whatever she's interested in, and I would paste that thing in there and let it edit my stuff because there's a lot to chew on. I feel like we talked a lot.
We did.
This was
Yeah.
like this was
This was
like a friends chat. And I hope that it is informative for folks. You definitely listening to Adam elevated the technical aspects around like the tracking system. So if folks want to watch it again, right, definitely listening to Adam on that part around like what is the applicant tracking system looking for and where you should put that, whether it should be just in the skills section or does it need to be listed inside of the bullet points. I really liked how you elevated the lens of person who's writing the resume, like, why is it that is that important? Do I need this? Do I need that? Right? You offered a lot of information there, but you also elevated student voice. So I appreciate you for that. And then, of course, our educator, organization extraordinaire.
Why didn't we get any more adjectives?
You get one. Okay.
Listen, everyone was great. And this was a really fun episode, and I think that a lot of folks will be helped. This might be a one that you have to watch more than once, right? Like to digest the information, and you can sit there with your resume. Sit there with your resume and kind of see if anything's hit in place. Again, we really, really appreciate y'all. I want to shout out the 2025-2026 Career Guide. This is a physical book that if you so would like to engage with the Career Center, you can pick up the physical book, but you can also find this digital copy by just Googling UMBC Career Guide.
Yes.
It's just that simple.
Yeah.
And then you can get the digital copy of this. We thank you. And until next time.
Bye.
Bye.